Yes, yes. Wow, I totally mistimed that. Let's do a clap again, damn it.
What?
There we go. Yes, yes. Welcome back. It's your boy, Pardo Jackson, CEO, founder, creator of the Great Cinema Draft Game, where daily fantasy sports meets the movies. And you know what time it is? It's the tripod.
What's up?
You know him,
What's
you
going
love
on?
him. He's your WBW, your chocolate cardinal, your mole inside the Dynasty reboot writers room.
Wow.
It's Kevin Garnett.
What's up, people? What's going on? Boop, boop, boop.
That's right. You know him. You tolerate him. He's the mysterious administrator of young minds, the dean of discipline, the cultural misanthrope. It's Gina.
What's up?
All right, all right. Tonight's drinking game will be the word agent because tonight we're getting our espionage game on. It's Secret Agent Movies tonight. But first, of course, we will start with my favorite segment. It's what I'm watching. No, I will persist. All right. And of course, we can only talk about what everyone's talking about, damn it. It's Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Khaleesi with them dragons.
Whoa, wait, wait, take it easy there, Bucko. Whoa.
Are you caught up?
Hell no, I'm not caught up. Did we discuss this before? Whoa. I'm putting down my microphone. And somebody chat me when you guys are done.
Yeah,
it's lit.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I was saying, this might be the
Oh,
best.
yeah, I'm tapping out. Don't say shit. Text me when you're done.
I thought you were already tapped out.
G Nice for the podcast listeners, G Nice is removing himself from the conversation because he's a lame. He hasn't watched Sunday's episode yet. So go ahead, KG.
It's like
spit that reel.
I mean, it's Wednesday night. This is Game of Thrones is one of the easily top 10, arguably top 5 shows of all time.
Top 2 for me.
And the last 10, 15 minutes of this episode was the most exciting. It's the moment we've been waiting for.
Yes.
Khaleesi to ride that dragon into battle with the what do you call them? The Dracar. What are them cats called?
Dracarys, yeah. She's riding Drogon and she's yelling Dracarys is lighting them fools up.
But the wild dudes riding in with her.
Oh, Dothraki, yes.
The Dothraki, like crazy scene.
Jumping from the saddle, shooting arrows and joint on them.
I mean, they're like kneecapping horses. They're going crazy. And then all the action with the dude Bronn and Jaime and Tyrion watching from on high.
All conflicted and shit. Yeah.
Conflicted emotionally. I mean, if you haven't watched the episode, spoiler alert.
Yes. I mean, this is one of the best sequences of the entire series, and that's a show that's had some outstanding Emmy-winning sequences.
Yeah, exactly. And the direction on it is great. They have the emotional stakes there. Khaleesi goes, go away, Greg. G nice. They have the emotional stakes with Khaleesi going to Jon Snow, her only ally left, basically, and saying, "What would you do?" He agrees with Tyrion, and then from there, you don't think she's going to do anything, but she comes in and brings the hammer hard.
Does she? Does she ever? Yes. And actually, I thought I just found. Here it is. Dracarys.
Light them up.
I love it. The soundboard's got everything. I just looked up Dracarys and there it was. So, which heard just lighting fools up. Oh my lord, it was exhilarating. I've watched that what they're calling the loot train battle 3 times. It's amazing. It's everything you wanted to see. It really is. I mean, it was the shortest episode of the entire series, from what I was told. 49 minutes it clocked in at, but damn if it wasn't lit. Literally.
And I'm sure they broke the budget on that one too, because I mean, even though there were a lot of special effects, it like you said before the podcast, 3 weeks just to shoot that battle scene, and it gave you all the drama. I mean, you had them bring out the big gun. They shot the dragons. You had the flutter moment where you're like, is Khaleesi going down?
Yes, she was going. Somebody on Twitter was tweeting like, yeah, I hope that bitch drowned. I'm like, oh my god, she may not pull up. And no, they thank God they pulled up. Man, yeah. And then then that one sequence where Jamie loses his mind, and he's gonna about take out Khaleesi, try to end this war in one fell swoop. It was,
and somebody was pointing out that the Kingslayer was about to try to kill another Targaryen in the back.
Yeah, straight up. But be Queenslayer.
The dragon wasn't having it.
Just for good measure, one more time.
Yeah.
Khaleesi with them dragons.
Yeah.
All right, so let's tag Greg back in. We fanboyed enough. That poor misguided soul. First of all, who waits till Wednesday and not see Game of Thrones, especially this season? I mean, you gotta watch that shit in real time because Twitter will spoil that shit for you. It's probably the single most live tweetable or live TV moment that we have going on these days outside of live sports. It's just amazing. I love it. All right, tap back in, Greg. Tap back in. G. Oh, man, it was amazing. I really enjoyed that. That was awesome. That was excellent. What else am I watching? The Prophet. Have you seen this show, yo?
I haven't seen it yet.
It's this guy named Marcus Lemonis. He's a businessman. I think he made his fortune like a chain of outdoor stores called Camp World or something. Anyway, he's worth $900 million. His specialty is reviving and resuscitating small businesses that are failing. So every episode he goes to a new business, and it pretty much doesn't matter what kind of business. I've seen him do like fashion, if it's a product that can be sold, he can revamp it. This is
a reality show.
Reality show. It's like it's on CNBC. It's on CNBC.
Okay.
So
and it's The Prophet, Profit, correct?
Yes, Profit. Yeah, and so this rich dude comes in with his own money, writes checks to these small businesses to bail them out, but he takes like ridiculous amount of control. So, for example,
are you done?
What is the chat say?
Back? Is this mic on?
It is on. We're talking about The Prophet. It's on CNBC. It's a reality show about this businessman who goes to small businesses, usually family owned, that are failing, and he writes them a check to kind of bail them out a little bit. But he's like, you understand, once I give you this check, I'm 100% in control. So, for example, let's say KG, you had let's say you sold like skateboards, whatever, and he's actually done like a snowboarding shop. That's what I watched last night. Let's say you've lost like 250,000 off of like 2 million in revenue. He's like, all right, I'm gonna write you a check for 400,000. We're going to redo your entire store. We're going to redo your shipping and everything. We're going to redo this. We're going to redo that. And for that, I want 50%, of the business. And there's always that moment where each business owner is like, oh my god, and they're thinking like about the dilution of their shares, and then oh my god, am I control? And he's like, am I control anymore? So there's always like a little bit of pushback in every episode.
Right.
And he's like, you understand, when you take the check, although I have 50% of the company, I'm 100% in control. What I say goes. Like, okay. And so and almost every episode he's successful, of course, because he's the prophet, but there's a few times where he's not, where people either don't listen to him, or people undermine them, or family squabbles come in and just totally undermines everything he's trying to do. It's really fascinating. It's really good.
So it's almost like the sequel to Shark Tank, as if one of these guys comes in and takes over, right? Kind of.
Yeah, a little bit. Except I think Shark Tank is more about like the pitch and doing it on stage. But this is as if.
But it gives you the second part of that where what the company is. The sort of OG cat comes in, takes over, and they either swim or sink.
Exactly, I really do kind of want to see. I mean, besides him like walking away, I think I've seen like 3 episodes where he's had to walk away because the owners were too hard headed or something. It's very rarely has he like tried a business idea and it hasn't like panned out. And actually, maybe those ones don't make it to air. I don't know, but very rarely do they not work out. It's usually some issue with like management or leadership. And but I would be really interested to see if he actually had an episode. And I've only watched like most of the fourth season and some of the third season, whatever's been on demand. Because a business advisor to the company, to Cinema Draft LLC, was telling me that I should check this show out. And so I've just been kind of like, I've been hooked. It's been really interesting, and he works in any industry as long as there's a product that can be sold, restaurants, clothing, fashion. He does everything. It's really bananas. And so now he's, after like 4 seasons, he's got like a stable of all these different type of companies that if, you know, this new company's acquiring needs some help. Oh, I've got a design shop in LA. Oh, I've got a fulfillment center in Chicago. He's like got this shit everywhere. It's amazing. So that's what I'm watching, The Prophet. And then, and then Turn, Washington Spies. I'm like the only guy watching this show. It's so sad. It's actually, the series finale is coming up this Saturday. I mean, part of the reason nobody's watching this show is because it had such a bad name. The first 2 seasons, it was just called Turn, and nobody knew what the fuck it was.
Right. And I watched maybe a few episodes early on, and just wasn't really.
Tapped out.
Couldn't get a hook into me.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a slow burn, the first season or so, and I will say this: the last 2 seasons they've really picked up the pace. I mean, they're doing a bunch of spy shit. I mean, so basically, for people who don't know, this is a show set in the Revolutionary War. Like this farmer on Long Island, Setauket, Long Island, is kind of recruited to become a spy. This is actually based on real events. This guy who went by the name Samuel Culper, that was like his code name, is actually recruited to be a spy for the Continental Army. Is that right? The Continental Army against the British, against the Redcoats. And it's just, and in the later seasons, it takes a bunch of twists and turns, but it gets interesting. Like, you see him in war and battle. He's got like an arch enemy. He's a guy named Simcoe, this like a Green Beret type unit of Her Majesty's army. They call themselves the Queen's Rangers. He's like this sadist who's like making everyone's life hell, and he has like an affair and stuff. Like, there's stuff going on, but ain't nobody watching this show.
Right.
I'm actually shocked it came back for the 4th season. So, and
then they have I thought I saw something, because I know they have a black female writer named Latoya Morgan.
Yes, she's like a co-executive producer now, I think.
I thought I saw something about, there was an episode where they had some
Latoya Morgan is the whitest name on the planet. Stop that.
Yeah, I know.
Don't fucking stereotype, man.
My point being, I believe, okay. My point being,
he can verify her blackness.
He says he's better. He lies.
The point being, I heard they did something with like some
black soldiers. What?
Some black soldiers in this last episode?
They've had black soldiers since like the latter, like the second season, I think. I'm not sure how historically accurate it is, but I roll with it. Like some, because it's the North. Slavery's not going on up in New York or anything. So they're, you have like, I don't know if they're freed slaves or whatever, but you have like some black soldiers, on both sides. But it's mostly servant roles, whatever. But it's still interesting. Me, sucker for historical fiction. I enjoyed it. I tweeted out 2 Saturdays ago. There's probably nothing lonelier in the social media age than watching a show that no one is watching. #Turn. And then I got a few I don't know what they call themselves, turncoats. I don't know. I got a few turners, turncoats or whatever, people who respond like, we're watching. I'm like, yes, all 5 of you.
Now here's a little cul-de-sac.
Yes.
Have either one of you been following the controversy about Confederate?
Yes, let's get into that. I'm very intrigued. Yes. What are your thoughts on the WBW? Because I have thoughts.
Well, G Nice, are you up on this, G Nice?
I am not.
So the deal is the dudes that created Game of Thrones have pitched their next project to HBO, which they're going to go with, and they've teamed up with this husband and wife black couple who are writers. One who's on, I think, The Good Wife or The Good Fight, and the other one who's on Empire currently, and developing a lot of stuff. And so the idea is an alt history of America where the what do you call them? The South basically wins the first. Well,
they actually, technically, from what I read, they didn't win the Civil War, but it was like an armistice or something. Like they actually were able to secede, and they kept like their territory.
They kept their territory, but then there was a second Civil War, and it's the events in modern day now leading up to the third Civil War.
Is this like a Southerner's wet dream kind of thing?
That's what some people are saying.
Yeah.
That it would be the sort of wet dream of these alt-right type people. But obviously the makers, the creators behind it are thinking it's slavery in modern days, but there's no like whips and plantations. It's sort of this like a Star Trek-y kind of thing where you can take a sci-fi idea, speak about current times without actually being in a current.
You know when they did that in Battlestar Galactica, and it was silly.
Okay. So yeah. So what do you? So now that you
Kevin
broke it
loved
down.
Battlestar Galactica. Did you ever watch it, Kevin? I mean, Ed?
Oh yeah. No, I watched it. It was good.
I liked it a lot. I mean, it was super didactic to me. Like it was like, this week we're talking about torture. It was they kind of had their issue of the week kind of thing, but it was an enjoyable show.
Listen. Before we go any further, I think we need to, especially in your did you look at the sky, Ed? Is that what just happened? Especially with your white background behind you, we need to put a chart for all the big words we use in this podcast, because didactic, he just threw it out there like it was casual, like he used it 6 times today.
We all have degrees. It'll be okay. We have Google now. It's not like, old school days.
Nah, man, that's not a casual word. We gotta have like a non-casual word list in the background.
You went to a very good school.
Which I was like, fuck, and shut up, and
there's probably like 6 degrees between the 3 of us. Come on, we're all right. We're fine.
A dirty diaper.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
So now that you broke it down for people, what do you think as WBW? Because I got thoughts.
So what's the controversy? That it's slavery and that it's modern day and that the Confederates won?
Yeah, no. So
part of it.
So a lot of the women behind like the Black Lives Matter movements online, they've been like really, really vocal about it. Like the second they heard about this, they're like, "Oh hell no!" And they started this hashtag called No Confederate. So every time Game of Thrones comes on now, because it's an HBO show, and HBO gave DB Weiss and David Benioff a blank check to create the show, they're tweeting with No Confederate. The first week it was like almost #1 trend nationally, like while Game of Thrones is running. It was crazy. Like everyone's like behind it. There's been a lot of think pieces about it, everything like that. And so they're really like, no, we don't need to see this. Let's talk about having more people of color, writing stuff, period. We don't have to, imagine an alt history where, white supremacy reigns, because we're living that history. Like they, and basically they're very triggered. To put it simply, they're very triggered by even the idea, even though no one's written a page yet. It was just an idea that these 4 people came together and were like, all right, let's do this. And HBO, like idiots, announced it without any real backing. And they're kind of hung out there to dry. They've done a few interviews, where they're trying to explain their point of view and stuff. But generally, Black Twitter and liberal guilt and stuff like that are not having it.
Well, I'll say this as a little bit of a caveat. I know Malcolm Spellman a little bit, met him a few times. Great dude, and
can we also count his name drops? Come on.
Yeah.
No. We're only counting my name drops. No.
My point being, like, he's not for the bullshit. Like, if it was gonna be like on some whack shit, he would bail.
Right.
Until that happens, I sort of give them the benefit of the doubt. But primarily, my thing is, as a artist or creative person, I feel like you can't monitor people's thoughts. You can't try to cut people off at the knees before they even present their ideas. Certainly, you have the right to protest and do whatever you want to do, but it's a little bit of a fascist thought to like try to cut people off before they even get a chance to express their idea. I know it's problematic. With
shots fired.
I know it's
you got to put that on the chart.
I know it's problematic with people's views of the way that Game of Thrones has dealt with people of color and slavery, but this is a different show. There's other voices in the room.
Mm-hmm.
People like Ta-Nehisi Coates have come out against the show, and there's like you said, April Rain, who started the Oscars So White hashtag, is against it. But
so it's a tricky balance, right? It's a tricky balance of like being creative and writing something interesting and finding a real conflict, and still sort of not walking that line of not showing. I mean, I'm sure they'll be I'm sure they're going to be sensitive. I'm sure they're going to try to put in the effort to do a good job, but it's still. I mean, it's like writing a really good rape scene, right? It's like. It's tricky, right? Am I wrong? It's like it's tricky. You're doing
right. I mean, you look at Sons of Anarchy, the scene that they did in season 2 with Gemma getting raped. You look at obviously The Accused, not that we're going down that cul-de-sac, but but like with these things, like I said, Malcolm. People have liked Malcolm's work on Empire. They've liked his wife's work. They've liked Game of Thrones. They trust these people as creatives on other things, like.
But it is like I get it. I mean, that's you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to be smart and you got to be sensitive and you got to be thoughtful. At the same time, you want to be creative. It's that really, really thin balance.
Mm-hmm. All right, so clear out the lane. Here I come. Dracarys! Because I got feelings. Woo!
Wait, yes. What just happened? I feel like you just said something important that I didn't understand.
You'll understand if you watch Sunday's episode. God damn. No, so I've been mostly kind of monitoring the situation on Twitter or whatever. I've been like that one meme of the Korean pop star guy who's like, you know, where he just kind of puts down his mic and decides to sip his Starbucks tea or whatever. Because I mean, and I get exactly where the V triggered people are coming from. I get, you know, how it could possibly cause people some pain, stuff like that. I understand all of that. I've also watched some very well-meaning white writers like Judd Apatow kind of stumble his way into the discussion, you know, using slightly wrong verbiage, get totally dragged by not just Black Twitter, but all of Twitter, and kind of felt bad for them because they meant well, but they didn't use quite the right words. I get all of that. But from my point of view, especially as a creative, I'm usually going to side with the artist, at least giving the artist the chance to express their art before you destroy, before you drag it. That's why I'm always very careful not to, I mean, like, I know what movies I like to see and don't like to see. I'm always very careful not to comment on the quality of movie until I've actually seen it. I can say, oh, this looks bad or whatever, but I won't say it is bad. These people are saying this is bad before even a page's been written, which I do think is severely limiting. Now, I'm not one of these people who are out here be like, oh, it's it's censorship. You're trying to prevent them from producing their vision or whatever. I honestly care less, and I do think it is problematic that it was these two white guys that kind of were like, yeah, let's do this at first. I'm glad they got some Black people in the room who are making it sound like they're co-equal partners, which is important, but. And so you can always kind of question sometimes the motivation a little bit, but I still think because these are all very smart people, very accomplished writers who are used to dealing with very good and tricky material, not always successfully, I might add. There have been some issues with the way they handled some stuff in Game of Thrones. I still think they deserve a chance to an opportunity to at least show what it was they're thinking about or feeling, and then you can drag it. Then you can tear it apart.
If it's insensitive, if it's whack, whatever, drag it through the mud and I'll be right there with you pulling on the rope. But until that time, I agree with you. My one last point would be about you people, about Black people. Is that
not your people, you people. Okay.
is that we often don't want to look, we want to forget about slavery, not look back at slavery, the pain, etc. I get that to a certain extent, but I contrast that with Jewish people who are like, never forget.
Yeah.
We're going to do a movie about it every year. We're going to watch it. We're going to support it.
That's totally different, but okay.
My point being, it is the I would say the apex of sort of Jewish pain was the Holocaust. I could be wrong. I could be misspeaking here, but in my perception, the apex of their pain was the Holocaust. They want to keep that memory alive and remind people so that history does not repeat itself. Black people want to forget about slavery, move on, move away from the pain.
Well, actually, I'll push back on that a little bit. It's not so much that we want to forget about slavery. It's that, because a point they really bring up, which is true, and this is how I felt watching Detroit, which I think is a good but very, very flawed movie. It was that, there's a lot, almost too much commercialization of Black pain. And there's a point in Detroit, especially this really saggy middle where I'm like, okay, I've kind of tapped out on Black male emasculation. I'm good. Like, you made your point. Catherine Bigelow, why are we spending another half hour of more emasculation? Like, we get it, even if it is, real life. Let's just move this along. I think they do have a very solid point about how there's a lot of commercialization on Black pain, almost like wish fulfillment of slavery, stuff like that. Like, I get all of that. I still do side though. I want to see what the artistic vision is first, because there could be some really interesting stuff in there. I mean, because there are a lot of really outlandish plots or ideas that have come along the pike that that have been really successful shows. So we're gonna watch a high school, chemistry teacher, turned into Scarface, and all because he couldn't get his health care. Oh, that's bullshit. That's crazy. No, it was one of the best shows of all time. You never know. That's my point.
Nice.
My breast.
What?
I thought you had a point.
Yeah, I thought you had a
got
point.
Lost in his. I got lost in his magic words.
All right,
I was just going to say that I don't know. I mean, look, I think there's a fundamental difference with the ability for the Jewish community to make movies in the Hollywood business, as opposed to black folks making movies with the kind of money and the history
and the gatekeepers and
yeah. I mean, I think there's a huge difference there. I also feel like there's a huge difference. It's not. I would not say that black people are trying to forget. I just feel like I don't think they're trying to forget. I think that's a statement that's not. I have to think about how to answer it, but I don't think it's like trying to forget the pain. I think the pain is important. I mean, I think the history, and no one ever says don't forget about our past. Our history is not important. It's more.
I think we're just tired of it being exploited for dollars. That's
sure.
what I think.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
these same people, had they heard the pitch for Underground, the Underground Railroad show, would have pushed back against that. I guarantee it. Same thing with 12 Years a Slave. Those two projects, I think, in my opinion, very quality projects about early American slave life, or whatever you want to call it. And I think those pieces of art spoke to those times and to now, and brought in windows about the Black experience. And
those are great examples. I can agree with you on that. Those are great examples. Because if you would have told me, well, I haven't yet even seen Underground because, like I said,
that's different. You're basically saying, I mean, whatever. But you're basically saying that Underground and 12 Years a Slave, people would push back on it. But these are historically grounded, right? As opposed to this idea where you're going to sort of take this fictional version of it and sort of have fun with it and be creative. Those are very different.
The fact that you say have fun with it.
This is way too educated. We go back to cursing and diapers.
The fact that you say have fun with it, paints it with a different brush. These people have been calling it fan fiction online, fan fiction. That's a broad stroke, but we can pull out of this.
So fan fiction. So yes, but fan fiction. No one's. Would someone call 12 Years a Slave fan fiction?
No. Those are great.
But they're historically grounded, is what I'm saying. They're based in reality. This idea is they're taking sort of they're taking snippets, or I know very little about this project, but they're taking that won't stop me from talking about it. They're taking snippets of this idea and they're creating their own world using parts, right? And that's what I'm assuming that's what people are offended by. The idea that it's like you're not even going to be accurate about it, and you're sort of using what you want to use to tell the story.
Well, or they're afraid that it'll satisfy or give wish fulfillment to closet and open racists out there.
I get the argument. I have no doubt that whoever the creators are that Kevin is vouching for, I'm sure they're intelligent, smart, sensitive people that want to do a good job. And my guess is they're incredibly creative and will tell a really cool story. You have to understand, if you're going to walk that walk, it's coming baggage with you. And I feel like if these guys are as bright as you say, I mean, I'm sure they're aware of that too.
Well, and also I don't think, and just to reiterate, I don't think HBO did them any favors, because it really was like they have no script, they had nothing, not a page written. It was just an idea. The HBO wanted to, crest off of all this, Game of Thrones, success. It was like, yeah, and get this next step. It was basically a case of white people not knowing any better. Like, no, you probably should have waited to at least have a script or like a trailer or something you could show people to give, otherwise the idea on the face of it does sound a little bit outlandish. But I'll tell you this much, because I do love historical fiction and even alt historical fiction, I guess. I promptly went online and found the YouTube movie of that book. They made like a movie out of a book basically off of alt history of the United States if the Confederacy had won. And I'm intrigued. I'm not. It's not for me. It's not like, oh wow, I really wish I was still enslaved. No, I'm curious to see how sociologically and scientifically they would have set it up. They would have set it up to have this alt history. And I think they're going to do the same thing. They're going to bring in historians. They're going to bring in like social scientists. They're going to bring in, all the people you have when you're creating like a reasonable facsimile of a world that doesn't exist. You're going to have all those people, to try to form this alt history, and they're going to do it respectfully and interestingly. And I hope. Well, I won't say hope. I'm not terribly invested, but I'm intrigued to see if the production makes it and what it looks like. That's all I got to say about it. All right, we're too damn deep on this. Real quick, yeah. What 3 things are y'all watching? We'll go KG first.
I am watching Insecure is back for season 2. I'm all over it. It's
Ooh, Lawrence Hive took a body shot last week.
That was a tough shot. His old Tasha is her name. Is that her name?
Yeah, I'm off the Hive, man. I'm off the Hive.
She served him up pretty good. I'm also watching Snowfall, getting into that a little bit. It's a little slow, and one of the stories I like a little bit more than the other 2, but I'm going to swing with it for a while. And then number 3, I don't know if you got. I know G Nice does not watch it. Power is back.
Oh, of course. Yeah, every Saturday night they put that joint up on demand. I watch that shit. Yeah, so I have my Game of Thrones time, open.
Right, Ghost is out of jail, back on the streets. Things that one episode with 50 doing what he did was super wonky and like not good to me. But everything else, I'm still riding with it. Love to see it.
Yeah, well, and I heard an explanation behind that because they actually how they cut their episode order. They had essentially 2 episodes in one. They kind of had to mash it up, and it was it didn't really flow. Yeah, I get you. But I'm with Power. Except I'm not with Tasha hitting that dude, that lawyer dude. I don't really care if she's faithful or not. I just think he's corny. And then even worse, scenes from next week, he's wearing a Morehouse College t-shirt. I'm like, shit. Why is this dude repping my college?
The bad thing about something I will say about it. There's certain things which you see coming a mile away, like that relationship you saw. They telegraphed that probably a little bit too much, but I'm still there for the ride. Still, watching Power and enjoy.
Yeah, G-Nice.
Yeah, I'm not watching that. It's you two. You guys are the only ones.
Really, we're not.
What am I watching?
It's like the best show in Starz history. But go ahead.
Yeah, but okay. Wait, did Starz have the girlfriend experience?
Yes.
Exactly.
Or was that Cinemax? I don't know. One of those 2
sounds like Cinemax.
Yeah, it does sound like Cinemax. That show was excellent.
And that Soderbergh, and he did the Nick on Cinemax. Anyway,
it's probably
all right, that's good. I only saw like 3 episodes, but it looked really good.
It's incredible. Watch the whole thing. It's great.
What am I watching? I was watching something that I spent a lot of time on, and I was incredibly disappointed about it.
The Patriot? What?
What? No, it was.
Okay, you're killing us, G. This is what happens when you come in unprepared. Okay, fine.
No, I'm telling you what I am watching. So I can't remember the name of it. It's on Netflix, and it's got Jason Bateman.
Oh, hold on! You didn't like Ozark? Are you serious? Did you finish it?
It is bomb. No, I'm like 5 in, but it's good. That dude, I like. He does a really good job, and he's got great
outstanding. No, watch
I haven't seen it yet.
That's what happens when you come in prepared, bitches. So it's like,
but I mainlined that in like 2 days. Like I love that show. It was great. It's excellent. That pilot is amazing. I mean, that first episode is amazing. Like it's got a lot going on.
I think a lot of his little final scenes in the episodes are weird. I think his cliffhangers are a little strange to me. But other than that, he's very good. I cannot stand Bonnie Hunt. Is it Bonnie Hunt? No, it's
no. Laura Linney, really?
Yeah, I cannot stand her. She's very, very, very good. She's incredibly talented and always
like the character. It's a little too much Skylar White for you.
I do not. She drives me nuts, but she's always.
She gets better. If you're only 5'3", she gets better. Like you get all the motivations behind why she acts the way she does by the end of the first season.
You're saying her character you don't like. You like her as an actress. Yes.
I do not like her as an actress.
Oh.
That said, no, I do not like her as an actress across the board.
Oh.
I really dislike her, but she's very, very good.
All right.
I have a lot of those.
Okay. All right, Ozark is excellent. I highly recommend everyone should watch that. It is really good, and it really gets you inside the mind.
I remember when I finished. Okay, so 2 things. So Ozark is what I'm watching that I like very much. I've also been trying to get back into Mr. Robot, but it's hard. I don't.
Second season's hard. It's convoluted.
Hard. And then I finally finished Gypsy.
What do you think of that? That's not very good.
I
watched it all, but like at the end, that's when you were talking about where you watched it, and at the end you were kind of disappointed. That's exactly how I felt too.
At the end, I was like, "What the hell did I just do with 12 hours of my life?" Because it was like, it was the payoff with that. It was like eating the sandwich you've been excited to eat, and then you finish it, and you're like, "I'm really hungry." Like it was not. There was nothing sad. There was no like payoff. The climax it was so weird because there was so much money and a lot of talent there, and in the end, it was just like, what?
Or to quote the unofficial therapist of the pod, Nicole Ward, she was like, I'm tired of seeing white therapists, gets too involved in her patients' lives type of shows. I'm like, is that a thing? Like, I didn't notice.
but that, I mean, at least that the way you describe that gives it way more excitement than it actually was. Like that, there was such less at the end. It was like, what is this show about? Her whole, it was just. I was like frustrated, and then I did the thing. I don't know if you guys do this. Sometimes when you finish watching something, I'll like look up what someone else thought.
Yeah.
And like, all these other people are like, that was the worst. Nothing happens. I'm like, oh, okay. Sometimes I think I just misread it. Like,
to quote some of our more conservative friends, it was a big nothing burger. That's kind of what it was.
It was just boring.
But if it goes back for a second season, would you watch?
I mean, but I'm twisted this way. But I feel like I would have to like see if something else happens.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But
it was a big nothing burger. All right, that's cool. Yeah.
I feel like they look around and I'm confused.
What's that?
I said when you do that, I feel like I'm in the club and then I look around and I'm at home and my kids are sleeping.
Damn straight. Yeah, you're in the club. Club cinema draft. All right, so we're going on to our main subject now. It is our top 3 secret agent movies. Y'all know the rules, but for those new listeners to the pod, of which
oh, Jesus.
This is what happens when you do not read the rundown. And so basically, so for those of you who are new to the pod, and I do know we have one new listener. Yay.
What's up, Miss Listener?
Yeah, my massage therapist. Yay. It is basically the rules are you have each one of us will name a movie about spies or secret agents. We alternate picks. Once someone picks a movie, the movie is out of play. So there's a little element of game theory here where if you think someone's going to take your movie, you want to say it first. And so since Greg is
false, that's a fundamental flaw.
And since Greg is so woefully underprepared, he's going first, damn it.
Well, that's stupid.
Darkness.
Well, here's the thing. That actually isn't correct. This is what we do. We end up going with the ones we want first just to get from the other person. But the truth is we should be building to the best movie.
No. Get your own show. All right, so great. G-Night, I'm going to fire up the screen share so we can do a little background digging into some of these shows or some of these movies or whatever. I'm pretty sure what one's going to go, or not what necessarily what one, but what ones are going to go off the board pretty quickly. So just go ahead and say it. Just go ahead and say it, Gina.
Why don't you go first?
No. You're unprepared.
Well,
every opportunity. You pushed our show taping an entire day. Said you didn't read the rundown. Didn't read the rundown.
Yeah,
you're going first. Damn it. Type faster. Figure out your secret agent movies because you're going first. Damn it.
All right. Well, then you're gonna. I'll be off the top of my head. My favorite secret agent movie is I have to find the title. Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer.
Yeah. I think I've told this movie before. I think it's great.
Oh, not that Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. He's a detective.
Oh no, that's awesome though. If it was a secret, that movie's fantastic. It's a Mammoth movie.
State of Maine? No.
No. Don't say nothing. No.
You're killing the pot. All right, you know what?
You're supposed to be first.
Yeah, I know, but you're supposed to have like some window up ready with like a bunch of titles or something. I mean, do your job.
Spartan, great movie, Spartan. There we go.
Spartan, there we go. Okay, actually, we had wildly divergent views on this one. I remember we actually debated this in real time back in 2004. Like, I thought this shit was. Yes, go ahead.
Wait, you thought it was bad?
I didn't like it like you did. I don't think. I remember. I think I gave it like 2 reels, and you were like, "What?" And I think we had like a real debate like that year. But yes, do tell about Spartan. Give us the deets. No one's seen this movie but you and I.
That's not true. It's he's like an agent for he's like a military agent or something, and he has to go and get the captured girlfriend back. It's the chick from the blonde girl. Nope, the blonde girl. Just leave it at that.
The brown girl.
Derek Luke is in it.
Tia Texada is her name, and I don't know why she didn't become a star. She's gorgeous and talented, but yes.
No, it's not. It's not. It's
It wasn't Tia Texada?
No, it's what's her name? Her.
Kristen Bell.
Kristen Bell.
So she did become a star.
She did become. It worked out. See, that was right. It's a good movie.
Okay. Okay. So, anything else you want to add? I mean, kind of.
No, he's not. I'm realizing in this moment he's not really a spy.
He's an investigator. He's like a military
investigator.
God, you're the worst.
I know. Okay. They're the best. Awesome. All right, go. You made me go first. Go.
All right, so I'm sure KG's got one. Go ahead, KG.
I'm taking the great one off the board, and that would be one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's best movies.
Yeah, I wasn't going to have that.
True Lies.
True Lies. Okay, I enjoyed that. That was fun.
Jamie Lee Curtis is awesome in that.
Yeah, she is.
She is. It's he's a spy. She thinks he's cheating on her, and then vice versa. They have the scene where she comes in and tries to seduce him as the spy or whatever. Very entertaining. Mid 80s. When did that come out? 94. Oh, well, 94. There you go. Even better.
Bill Paxton, R.I.P. Yeah.
He's in that?
Yeah, everyone's in this sucker.
I forget.
Very entertaining, smart action movie, mid 90s. Arnold. He'd probably jumped the shark a couple times before this, but this was one of his better performances.
Yeah, this is a good movie for him.
More grounded performance from your boy, Arnie.
That's a great poster shot right there. That's a good shot. All right, I approve. All right, and mine, take this off the board real quick. Of course, you have to go Bond. Casino Royale. The reboot that really did made Bond cool again. My God. It had, for me at least, it had everything I like and love about. First of all, I'm here for every Bond movie, just regardless. That's not even a question. But secondly, it made Bond fun again. He was a little dour and stuff, but about business, but he still, bedded the women and he gambled. He played poker, big, poker scene and stuff at the end, which I could really appreciate. Hot women. Exotic locales and the fighting. It brought they're obviously aping the Bourne style of up close handheld style filming of fight choreography, but it worked. It was effective, and you kind of got a sense of who this guy was. Yeah, he cleans up well, but he really is kind of a dirty little cat. He's kind of he likes to get he likes a little brolic with you. He likes to mix it up a little bit. So I really enjoyed it, and yeah, he even falls in love. So it's got a little bit of everything, and the whole thing with the Bahamas and it really was I'm not sure how long they took between this movie and the Bond movie before it, because I think this was Daniel Craig's introduction as James Bond. Yeah. He just nailed it. I remember when the casting for Bond for Daniel Craig came out, people were like, "Who is this guy? He's blonde. He can't have a blonde." All the little fanboys, they're tidy whities up in a bunch. But he was excellent. Still is pretty much excellent. I enjoyed Skyfall fine, and the other movies they had after it. It's this was the best of the Daniel Craig Bond movies, in my opinion.
Yep, gave you definitely a grittier, more grounded Bond. Great pick.
Yeah.
I want to take my pick back. I'm ready now.
Okay, fine. We restart the clock on G-Nice. All right, so that one didn't count because it wasn't.
I was about to get. Just kidding, you passed. Okay, so they're really good. So one of my favorite. I'm going to say this because I should say this, but this. You guys ever seen Sneakers?
Yes. Back in the day, it's Robert Redford,
Sidney Poitier, Dan Aykroyd's in it. What's the British dude?
John Cleese?
No. Kingsley. Ben Kingsley's in it. It's super cool. Do you guys remember this? I remember the scene so well where they search through. It's the girl, and she's like, "You gotta understand how to know a man. You gotta search through his trash." And they go through his trash and they find all his toothpaste styles. Do you guys remember this? It's such a cool movie.
I barely remember, but I did see it. I've seen it at least twice. That much I do remember.
That movie's awesome. And here's the thing: Robert Redford has some really classic movies. But he also has a ton of these movies where he's just, it's not like a power movie. It's not like he's the star of this, but it's really subtle. And he's just It's like a quality old. Like I feel like they don't do these anymore, but this is like a quality, really smart, very simple.
Where they talk a lot.
No, they do a lot. Shush. They do a lot of. They do it. Wait, they do a lot of like. I remember they do a lot of like, and River Phoenix is in it when he's young.
Yeah,
You
yeah. I
remember this movie,
remember.
guys? This is such a great movie.
No. I remember it. It was good. I enjoyed it. Yeah. It wouldn't make my top 3, but I enjoyed it.
92.
That's a great movie. I remember watching that over and over and over again on VCR.
Yeah, exactly. All right, fine. You made up for that pick. But since you were beginning, it's almost like snake draft style. What's your second pick now?
That's fine. I'm prepared. All right,
wow.
I'm going to take this off the board. I know this is going to steal from Kevin, but Enemy of the State is one of my.
That was one of Kevin's.
Back in your face, motherfuckers.
That was my number. That was my next one off the board.
Of course it was. Because this is probably Will Smith's greatest movie.
Easily.
Oh, whoa. Seriously?
Oh, he's really good in this.
I mean, no, he's really good, and I enjoyed the movie. And I used to have it on, not VHS. I actually had the DVD. I love the hell out of this movie, but really, it's his best movie. You think?
Yeah, we actually did. I think we had this conversation before, but like if you look at all his other stuff, he's got some
I need
movies.
to see it. This is.
But this one is great, and this is also what's his name? The director. This is Free. What's his name? He did
Tony Scott or
Tony Scott. This is Tony Scott.
Tony Scott's
but this
awesome.
is Tony Scott. Really, this is still in the really good Tony Scott phase where it became
I really like him in Hitch though. Hitch was awesome. Hitch is like a modern day Boomerang. I don't know.
Nope, not close. But
and Bad Boys. What are you talking about?
That's also a fun movie. But he was great in this. It's top to bottom. It's fun. It moves fast. It's funny. It's cool. Gene Hackman is crotchety and perfect.
Yes.
And like Regina Hall's in it. And she's
this is the movie where I learned about the NSA. Like I had no idea what it did, and this is the movie that taught me about the NSA. I'm like,
and then remember they have the scene where they show Gene Hackman's picture, which is a shot from the first movie. It's supposed to be sort of a like loose sequel.
To the conversation.
Is it the conversation? Is the conversation of the target or something like that?
Yeah, the conversation.
And it's just a it Elisa Bonet. Oh, I forgot about that part.
It's your bae.
Part of the movie. What's up, girl?
For those listening at home, it's Lisa Bonet up on the screen.
Look at her. She just looks
in all of her 90s, just realness.
Grungy. She's kind of grungy.
Disinterested and still beautiful.
And popped out a gorgeous kid, Zoe Kravitz, killing it. That's her daughter, right?
Yeah,
that's right. All right. Anyways, but we digress.
There's great random scenes of him like running with why is he in a robe? I can't remember, but he's running away. This is those perfect movies in those like the 90s.
Regina King killing it.
She kills
it. They had Jason Lee in here for like 10 minutes. I'll never forget this. I remember reading an interview where he's like, because he was on the cusp of kind of becoming something, and he's like, yeah, and they fly me out for this Tony Scott movie. I worked 10 days and make 170,000. It was awesome. I was like, damn, that is some real Hollywood blockbuster money right there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, he was great in that. And he was like and I forgot Gabriel Burns is in it. That's a great movie.
And Bruckheimer, man, that dude is just timeless, man. He makes so many hits. He's got so much money. He's got TV money, which is like the longest money in Hollywood, quietly.
Yes,
and
but
also movie money.
This is one of those movies he made that's actually really good.
Back to Regina King. She killed it in it. She kills it in this. She kills it in Jerry Maguire. Been underrated for years. She deserves all that she gets. She's directing a little now.
Interesting. Enemy of the State. I dig it though. I dig
Leftovers. She did a good job in Leftovers. In the weird.
I tapped out the first season. It's too weird. But I heard it got better. But that first season was terrible.
That's not true. It didn't get better. But she's good in it.
Okay, KG. Since he stole your thunder, what's your second film?
Stole my thunder.
Born Identity.
I'm gonna have to go with another movie that you will not guess.
Born Identity.
Not. It's from another series, which has already been mentioned here, and it is Live and Let Die. Roger Moore.
I like that. That's the one where he goes to Jamaica.
Bond is whatever.
What's that?
Bond is whatever to me. I've always been like, whatever. Tell your story. Why is this so good?
This is so great to me because he takes over the role. I believe in this one. I believe Roger Moore takes over the role. And
okay.
This
1973.
You've got like black people in this Bond, and they're
they're
like prominently.
And he's making out with like black. He's like hitting black chicks and everything. It's awesome. Yeah.
You got Yaphet Kotto. Who
Wait, aren't they the bad guys?
They're the bad guys, but whatever.
James Seymour.
One step at a time.
Jane Seymour too. She still looks good. I mean, she's
Does she have
ageless.
her? Does she have her open heart pendulum on right there?
That's for you millennials who know nothing of Jane Seymour but those damn commercials. Yes.
But yeah, it's great because it was
That dude's an
the
alien.
7-Up guy. You had it was just great to see black people in a Bond movie. Come on,
I mean, of course we had to be like the villains, but
Well,
1973 progress. We'll take it where we can get it.
absolutely.
Kananga, that's what it was. Yeah, I enjoyed that movie. I had that on. I
That's
think
like
I
his
also had
harem.
on
Is that his
VHS.
harem?
I mean, I don't know. Have you seen Live and Let Die?
I did a long time
And
ago.
by the way, theme song.
Live and Let Die.
You had the original version by Wings, I believe, and then you had the cover by Guns N' Roses years later.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, the theme song of this was awesome. I mean, the 70s definitely were like really good James Bond like heyday theme songs, to these movies. Yeah, this is I dig this. I love every time we have a show and I see movies. I'm like, oh yeah, I enjoy that. I need to go see that again.
And then I want to go watch it again. Except not in this case. So
There's
can I say that James Bond?
That 7-Up guy. That's a bad guy. Awesome. You gotta love that.
Yeah, it's great stuff. All right, so I'm taking the most obvious one off the board.
Wait, I want to comment on James Bond.
Okay.
You don't like him?
I don't dislike him. But I feel like James Bond, he wears cool suits, he gets chicks, he like pulls out guns at random moments, and he does like cool stunts. This should be something I think is awesome. But I'm always like, eh. And I'm wondering it's because they're British. Like if the dude wasn't British, would I be like more into it? I don't know.
I mean, you're like,
it has all the pieces that should make it fun, but it's always like I'm always indifferent about it.
I thought you were gonna come with some, with some like university educated thing, like, oh, I don't like the objectification of women, and no, you're like, it's because he's British. I don't know.
Yeah, xenophobia. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
put that on the wall.
Yeah. Okay, we disagree. All right. So my next movie is my second movie.
If Idris if Idris, that would be interesting to me.
Yeah, and they should. And I thought he was going to get it, but they just saw, I mean, they truly just backed up the Brinks truck. Like, I mean, I've heard crazy numbers, something like, what was it, like 50 million, some ridiculous number they backed up for Daniel Craig to do this next Bond. Because he was done. He was done after this last, was it Skyfall or
I like him more. He seems angry and he doesn't talk as much. I feel like that's interesting. I feel like that was a cool take. He's not as cool as the other Bonds. He's more like angry and
sullen,
unhinged. And I feel like that's a cool take on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but these are physically demanding, like, roles, and he's
like older, right?
Yeah, he's almost 50, and he's like, but he has to have like, washboard abs. Like, this sucks. I mean, metabolism slows down at 40.
Yeah, but
not for you, G Nice, but for
steroids. What?
Maybe not for you, G Nice. You're the boy. You're the boy wonder. You're an ageless wonder. But for everyone else, metabolism slows down. He's probably tired of doing crunches and taking testosterone pills and shit.
That's what I'm saying. He's not doing crunches. He's taking testosterone pills.
He's got like a world-class trainer. He's probably got 5 of them. All right, so I'm going to my next movie, damn it, before this becomes a 2-hour podcast. All right, Spy Game. This movie is timeless. I probably watched it every 2.5 years just on GP. It's excellent. It's just, I mean, it's low key excellence. Like, I don't think it really won any Oscars or anything, but I really enjoy it. It's also, once again, historical fiction that kind of takes place over the years. Like, you see basically the recruitment and development of a young spy. Brad Pitt plays, a cat named Tom Bishop. He kind of learns, the tricks of the trade out in like Beirut and Lebanon and everything as he's growing in the game. And it's a weaved story. There's like a present day story, or a present day like 2001 for them, with like this whole rescue operation over in a Chinese prison, and then you hear the backstory of who you're trying to rescue and then why it's important. And it's really well done. It's Robert Redford again. I think he directed too. And
it's Tony Scott.
Oh, that's just Tony Scott too. God, Tony, man, I miss you, Tony. You're so good, Tony. You're right. It's Tony Scott. It's just excellent. I mean, it's one of those movies that it's got some action, but really mostly about like the talk, like the talking and the trade craft, like the subtlety of the trade craft. There's not like a bunch of bullets and bombs like Bond. It's more like talking your way through situations, figuring out, like intelligence and how do you pass intelligence and how do you, how do you, become like a spy on like the administrative levels because he's in the field, young or not young but younger in this part of the movie. Robert Redford, he's in the field and he's teaching him the tricks of trade, but then in present day he's like in the boardroom and trying to figure out stuff from macro level. So it's just really cool. I enjoyed it. It's really well done. Great script, all that good stuff. Oh no, Ridley Scott. It's Tony Scott. Oh, he looks kind of like Ridley, his older brother. Yeah, the Tony Scott, may rest in peace. Took his own life a long time ago, whatever. But yeah, Tony Scott directed this, and yeah, just a master. I miss him. I do miss his movies. I mean, he'd probably be doing like his umpteenth movie with Will Smith, or his umpteenth movie with like.
His movies got a little too fast for me. Somewhere along the way, like, do you guys remember Domino? They just so many shots, like the game Domino. It would just be so many shots. I felt like I was watching like a video game, and I would get lost along the way. I'd be like, "What's happening?" He started to sort of get into like the Oliver Stone area where you're just sort of this weird trippy visual.
Yeah, but very, very talented. He had a great eye. He was good.
There were like 10 straight movies where he was just killing it. I always thought this was a good movie. I thought this was a solid movie. I thought it was really sort of heavy loaded because it was like two big guns, and it was like the generationals. Like it was like there's two generations sort of colliding. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was great.
What do you think, KG?
I enjoyed it. I don't remember it that great, but again, to me, it was all about basically sort of the dreamboats of two generations in a movie.
Did I say that first? I feel like I said that first. I just want to make sure. I did say it first.
Either way, I'm saying that's what it was about.
Okay, G-Nice, give us your third one.
Okay, my third one is Homeland.
No. It's gotta be a movie.
Oh, all right. Sorry. Okay. Okay. So,
we don't have TV contests yet on Cinema Draft, so we're sticking to the movies.
Yes, I know. I'm just playing. Okay. So there are a variety of third ones that I was gonna throw out there because.
Here we go with the honorable mentions. All right.
Yeah, go ahead. Honorable mention. Look how nervous Kevin's getting.
I'm not nervous at all.
Okay. I'm gonna honorable mention Mr. and Mrs. Smith because it was fun. And it was sexy and cool, and they were interesting. It got ridiculous, but it was fun.
Why are you throwing out? Go ahead.
Because it's making you uncomfortable. And then 2.
I'll just say the same thing twice.
Put out there because spy movies. There's 2 versions, right? There's a super cool.
Which one? No, we missed that. What was the movie?
I didn't say it yet. I said there's 2 versions of spy movies, right? There's the one where the guy wears a suit and he's super cool, and he gets the girl and he doesn't say much, and he's like a cool fight scene. And then there's the one where they have fun with it. So my third and final is the one where they have fun with it. The Long Kiss Goodnight, bitches.
That was a great movie.
It was a great movie. And I know we talked about this before on this podcast, but it's fantastic. And
it's been mentioned on this podcast, but not with you.
I think we do this for the greatest, worst movies.
We have mentioned this before on this.
Because she's great in it. She's like sexy and cool and funny, and she has great lines, and she's like kind of hard. And Sam Jackson is outstanding in this movie. He could not make like Scumbag cooler.
Rennie Harlan. What happened to that dude? Damn.
Who was he in that?
He's a director. Yeah. And he was dating Gina Davis at the time, wasn't he? I thought that was a story. Charlie Baltimore. Great freaking name. Great name.
Yeah, it's just a good, cool, great. Like, that's fun, and I'll watch that 50 times over.
Yeah. Long Kiss Goodnight. All right. Any thoughts on that, Kate?
Remember seeing when she was cutting the lettuce and then
loved it
against the wall?
Loved it. This was when Sam Jackson was sort of on the come up. This was post Pulp Fiction, or right. It was maybe right.
It was like a year or 2 after that. Pulp Fiction came out in '94. This is like '96.
Okay, but so this was like when he was on the rise, and he was actually not just like a dude in the cut. He was like amazing. And I think there was some controversy about this because there was supposed to be like a love story vibe between him and this.
Right, I remember that. I remember
it got nixed for whatever reason. Whether it was
for whatever reason.
I mean, for obvious reasons.
He's too dark. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. Actually, I didn't hear about
really? What else could it be? Really, you don't know?
Especially in '90s Hollywood.
I mean, he's not exactly a romantic lead necessarily traditionally.
So here's a fun fact about Sam Jackson. Can you guys name off the top of your head? Can you name a love scene he's been in?
No, like honestly, I can't.
I'd have to think about it, but probably not.
No,
I
you're
know one.
absolutely
That's why
right.
I'm asking. He's in that movie. He's got a love scene with Annette Bening in
What movie's
like
that? That's
like
interesting.
Daughters and Babies or Moms and Daughters or something, some movie, and
Huh.
it's super awkward. And
Which is why he has no love scenes in his
I
career.
guess because it's like he's
Wait a
really
minute.
he's so gifted at so many things. He's got such a big voice, and he's so like he's got such a presence.
Yeah.
But he sometimes it is. I feel like it's hard for him to play soft.
Did he have one in Jackie Brown? No.
No, I think he like referenced, but I never think he ever like got there. You remember that movie he did, The Red Violin?
Yes.
Yeah,
He's
I did
holding
see
the
that.
violin so awkwardly because again, it's got to be like a soft, tender moment. But he's like, hold it. It looks super awkward. I think it's funny because he's so gifted, but there's these moments of like subtlety where I think it's just awkward.
So
Well, you
you're
got to
Anyway,
play to your strengths. Like John Grisham writes legal thrillers. Occasionally he steps outside his lane, but his bread and butter is legal thrillers.
yeah.
So
Sometimes he writes about love stories.
so you're
I
saying
get it.
he's the Chuck D of actors.
I feel like he can rhyme better.
Fight the power that be. All right.
He can't rhyme. So what do you say? He's great at like preaching, but he can't rhyme.
All right, KG. What's your third and final movie? What you
Uh,
get?
in the
Born Identity.
interest of time, I would say No Way Out, but I can't remember all of that movie.
Yeah, because that was
'Cause
not.
that was
That was
I'm
not.
just gonna
That
say
was
that's my wife's mom's favorite movie, so just put that.
it's very confusing.
Yeah.
I would also say I'm gonna just say Top Secret.
what?
That's also a Schwarzenegger, right?
No,
That's like a comedy. That's terrible. That's a terrible movie.
it's a spy movie. It's fun. It's stupid.
That's terrible. Defend your movie, damn it. This movie
was
is so
not awesome.
dumb.
It's a stupid.
I'm
spy
out. Look at that hair. I'm out
It's
just
a
on the
parody.
hair.
It's 1984.
Yeah, I remember this movie.
You probably like those old Naked Gun movies, huh? I remember seeing the
Oh,
first
those
one.
movies
I thought it was
were
cool.
great.
After that, and then maybe the second one. After that, I was out. I'm like, this is stupid. I'm too old for this shit. I was
One of
like,
the best.
This is not Naked Gun. This is more
no,
like
but it's that type of like spoofy type.
And then my other one, which my other honorable mention.
Oh, this is an honorable mention. I thought this was your actual pick.
No, that is my pick. That is my. Pick.
he's trying to make up
That
for
is
it. He's trying to make up for it. I respect.
But my
it.
other, like you had 8 honorable mentions.
I had one.
Is La
That guy
Femme.
looks super cool in that jacket. Super cool.
Which I'm sorry. What was that? La Femme Nikita.
Yeah.
Okay, that's decent.
Wait, you said La Femme Nikita? That's a good movie. You should have started with that.
87 or 80?
with,
There's like
with,
two. Is the one with Peter Wilson 87?
No,
Right,
it's
no,
the
no,
remake. It's the
French one.
97.
No, not the remake. The French one.
The French
Not
one.
the
Okay,
French one.
not the French one. That's what I thought. Luc Besson though did the French one.
Yeah, French one's great. You don't like that one?
I didn't see that one. I saw the. I'm an American.
You saw
You saw the one
with
in
Jane
'97.
Fonda?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, that's why I had to ask. Yeah, there you go.
This
Blondie.
is not. What are you
No,
doing?
not that one. That's the wrong one.
He's talking about No
Oh,
Way
this is
Out.
the show. This is the show. Sorry.
He's talking about No Way Out, the one, the
No, I'm
American
not.
version.
La
What are you
Femme
talking about then?
Nikita.
La Femme Nikita.
Which
Wow,
I mean,
you just I will reference something you've never
Yeah.
seen before.
well,
It's
I mean,
this.
it's
That's
got to
the
be the
movie.
91. Yeah, it's got to be. This is because the other one's like a
You're
TV show.
talking about Gabriel Byrne, and you're talking about Bridget Fonda, which is the American version called No
Bridget-
Way Out.
Oh, I know. Yeah, this one, right? Am I right?
Look
No?
at his face. He has no idea what you're talking about.
No. It's the
Oh,
one with,
man.
with what's her face.
Jane Fonda.
There was one with like a blonde girl, with a blonde La Femme.
Yeah.
I thought that was a TV show though.
Go to No Way Out. Right in No Way Out. Ah,
Oh,
this is really it. This is the French version. And there's an American version called No Way Out with Gabriel Byrne and Bridget Fonda.
Is that what it's called?
oh.
God.
Whatever, man.
No, that's
Listen.
Kevin Costner, and
No, I didn't say No Way Out. What did I just
You
say?
said No Way Out.
it's like 5
That's not what I meant.
times.
That's not what I meant.
Point of
what
no
is it called?
return.
No, it's called No.
Point of no return. Okay.
Point of no
Return.
return is what I
Yeah,
meant.
yeah.
The remake of the other one.
Yeah, that one.
Okay, so this is the one you meant? Point of no
That's the
return.
one I meant.
Okay, all right.
That is not nearly as good as the French version.
Well, you didn't pick either one, so there we go.
Hey, I vaguely remember this movie. It was fine.
Gabriel Burns is cool in this.
Ooh, she's too skinny. Okay.
know,
Any thoughts on this? Because I have none. Oh, young Dermot Mulroney. Look at that.
She does action shots. I remember her flying. Who directed this? I can't remember.
Good question. It was John Badham. Oh man, that guy had a
Oh.
run in the 80s.
John Badham, love John Badham.
Yeah, War Games. Shall we play a game?
Oh, War Games is great. War Games is a good
Yes.
movie. You
Not
should have
spy
picked
movie, good
that.
movie. It's not a spy movie, good movie. All right, so I'll
So wait, I have
come
a
up with
question. Have either one of you guys seen the French version?
I have, I
I don't
think.
think so.
It's been forever though. I don't
It's
remember it.
good. That's much better. It's much better.
Great.
Okay, all right. My third
What would you
my
pick the
third
most
one.
mediocre?
My third one, I think,
Born
is going
Identity.
to be. I mean, this is a toss-up. I mean, you know, I really like the second one, but the third one too. I'm going to go with the Bourne Ultimatum.
See,
The Bourne Supremacy is great. I mean, there's that whole thing where he's in Germany in the kitchen with the kitchen fight, which is crazy. But Bourne Ultimatum to me took it like up just a slight bit of more of a notch. You have him in like Morocco and shit with that crazy bookcase fight and everything. Paul Greengrass, and once Paul Greengrass got his hands in this series, it really did take off. I mean, it's just, I mean, it does count on you having watched the first two a little bit. So standalone, it's not like, you know, totally great, but it's got the exotic locales. It's got, you know, he's getting his memory back. So it's more, I think it's the more focused and mission driven of the first three Bourne movies. The first one, he doesn't know what the fuck's going on. Second one, he kind of gets it and he's trying to live his life, and they kill his girlfriend. He's pissed off. He spends most of the movie being pissed off. In this movie, he's directed this anger. He wants to end Treadstone. He's out to stop Joan Allen, and who's they got? Brian Cox and all that sort of stuff. He's just out, and he gets help from Julie Stiles and all sort of stuff, and it's got exotic locales, and
okay,
I really enjoy it. It's good.
Julia Stiles, hot or not hot?
Ooh, to me, it's picture by picture, but not that, you know. Of course, we love women for their minds, their other gifts and intelligence, blah blah. But for me, it goes movie by movie. She looks better in some movies than others, in my estimation. What do you think?
It's got a very distinct look, and sometimes it doesn't come off well. Other times it does. I agree with that.
And you, G-Nice?
I'm indifferent. She's whatever.
You're the one who asked the question in the first place.
Yes, because she's always this love interest, and she has a very long string of love interests for black dudes. Right? Save the Last Dance.
Yeah.
Othello.
Was she in black and white? I don't think she's in black and white.
Was she in black and white? And I was wondering, I'm like, she's the white girl that likes black dudes?
God, stop. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna end this.
Wait, no. Here's my Bourne commentary. Bourne commentary.
What?
Bourne commentary.
Okay, let's hear it.
The Bourne Identity is top to bottom really good. Those are 5 solid movies.
The Bourne. Oh yeah. Is the franchise? Okay,
yeah,
I agree.
5 solid movies. Those are good movies. They're like they could keep making those movies. Those are solid. There's never a bad one. This most recent one, the ending was weird, but it's still solid. There's a bunch of running. You feel anxious the whole movie. There's a bunch of like really close fighting and kills people, and then sort of like ambiguously likes a girl but doesn't like a girl, and then saves the day.
Yeah, and to me, the fact that he's lost his memory, or whatever, I think really kind of humanizes him, you know, to an extent, because he's a killing machine. But
she's in that. I don't remember her being in that.
Wow, I don't. Well, you know, this must have just been like at a premiere or something. She can't be in this movie. There's no way. Because all she does is Grey's Anatomy. It's almost like Famous. Like she's like, yeah, I've got this great life. I work like 8 months of the year, and I've got this great house in Long Island and in Hollywood. Like I'm good. Yeah, she can't. There's no way she's in this movie. There's no way. Actually, instead of just
what's going to happen when her name shows up in this movie? Do you explode?
I might actually have to rewatch it, not only because it's a good movie, but like, where the hell was she? Yeah, look at this filmography. Not that TV work isn't hard; it's very hard work.
Filmography.
Filmography. I mean, look at it. 2005, 2016 Grey's Anatomy, and then
wait, she's in Dr.
2 roles, and then nothing till 2005. She's been chill. She's like, I'm the lead movie. I'm the lead actress in this TV series. We do 26 episodes a year usually. I'm good. I'm gonna chill with my family in my homes and just call it good.
Dude, look at that. She was Karen Page.
Wait, what?
She's Karen Page.
In what?
Daredevil.
Oh, in the one that in the Ben Affleck one, I guess. Yeah. No,
I told you guys I had a Karen Page moment.
No. What was your?
So this is like a couple months ago. I was at Ralph's.
That's wrong.
And I was her. I was at Ralph's and I was getting milk.
Something. Yeah.
I was getting milk, And I look up. I was like getting chicken, and I look up, and she's standing right next to me.
Who's
Name
that?
drop. Name drop. Go
I
ahead.
don't even know her name. She's standing right next to me. I look
Deborah
up, and
Ann Wall. Woll.
I see her, and she sees me, and she sees that I recognize her.
And she got scared.
No, then she gets scared. And she's like, she pulls out a pen, and she's like, "Yo, G-Nice, will you sign my arm?"
Oh,
So she goes. So I look at her, and I go. I put my chicken in my bag. I stand up, and I walk. And as I walk away, I go, "Good job, Karen Page." She goes, "Thank you."
That's so nice. Just passing praise. Not gonna fan him up too much, but passing praise. Like I see you, girl. That's so nice.
She had Converse All Stars on. I really liked her for that.
That's nice. All right, so that we're gonna end that segment. Damn it!
Wait. We have
a
to
3-hour
do
tour.
Quick. Honorary mentions. Night and Day is a fantastic one with Tom Cruise.
Night and Day.
That was a bad movie.
The movie's so good. It's so bad, but it's also so really very good.
Night and Day?
It's super clever. It's totally ridiculous, but it's really amusing.
Okay. And that movie was silly. You know, actually, I thought people dumped on it unnecessarily. Cameron Diaz, actually, and I'll screen share this because this definitely has been forgotten. This has been lost to the annals of film history, straight up. She's pretty sexy and good in this movie. Like I enjoyed it fine, but it did not do what the studios thought it was going to do.
No, they crushed it. But it was like a funny, clever script, and he was good in it, and she was funny. That's a good movie.
I liked it fine. It was fine. Because what was the shtick again? Like she was some like
I don't know,
socialite or some sort of like ditzy girl who actually is somewhat capable in her own way or something. I can't remember.
There's some ridiculous scenes in there, but they're super funny. He's got the scene where he's like swinging back and forth on a clock, but he's tied up. He's like, "We're gonna get out of here." It's very good. But I don't know.
That's a great poster right there. That's a really good poster. Yeah, it's funny too. Cameron Diaz was trending today on Twitter. I was like, why? And then it's because that woman from the State Department is a dead ringer for Heather Nauert or something. She was like up there spinning some Trump administration bullshit, and she was trending because no one had ever seen this woman before. And it's funny because she looked exactly like Cameron Diaz. It really was uncanny. It was really okay.
And then my last one, Taken, the Taken stuff.
Taken. Taken's
really
the first two. The third was a mess.
Yeah.
No, it's all the same. It's all one long movie about the same thing, but it's highly amusing, and he's perfect for it. He's grouchy. Again, these spies, they never throw a punch. They get really close and they do all these little things, and the person falls down.
Have either of you seen the Taken series?
I've seen the first one.
Lon and I were excited to watch.
Oh, the TV series. I think I saw that Jennifer Beals got at least one viewing.
She's super hot on GP.
She's great. Oh, and also, she's also in this show I watched on Amazon Prime over the week or last weekend called The Last Tycoon. You know me in historical fiction. I love it. Really good. Set in the studio system back in the 1930s. She plays a biracial star actress who's passing as white.
She is a mixed person from Chicago. Boom. She's also
from Chicago.
Yeah.
Nice claim.
She's from what was it? She started with Flashdance, right?
As far as I know.
It's fantastic. I have no idea what that movie's about, but she's perfect.
What a fan. She's trying to get into ballet school or something. All right, anyways. So, what is Cinema Draft, Dan? We're moving on, damn it, before this becomes a 3-hour tour. What is Cinema Draft? It is the fantasy sports version of the movies. Instead of drafting athletes from teams, drafting actors from movies. How their movies perform at the North American box office will earn you points for your call sheet of actors while competing against others for fun and prizes. Draft 10 actors who are assigned a dollar value salary. You have a $10,000 budget to try to draft all 10 actors. You must have 10, no more, no less. You must have one actor from each of the 3 release types. Wide release, a movie that's released on 2,000 screens and up. Limited release, between 501 and 1,999 screens. And platform release, 500 screens or below. You have headliners. You have 2 headliners per film. Their points are worth 40% each, 40% more. For example, if Suicide Squad earns 100 points, Margot Robbie would get 100 points at 1 point per million per actor in wide release, while Will Smith would get 140 points. It is free to play. We have over $200 in prizes this week, plus a $25 bonus to the highest scoring call sheet. Beta testing is open and live, and now we will get to the shot list. And before I launch into the shot list, KG, what are you feeling? What are you feeling in the cultural zeitgeist going on this week?
I'm trying to think. There was a couple because I've filled out a few call sheets so far. There was a couple of platform movies that looked interesting to me. Made a little bit of money
We got
off.
some 3Fs. We got some foreign focused films out there.
That's the one. There's like an Indian film. It's almost like seems like the title is almost like When Harry Met Sally or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I'm gonna get to that. It's in my shot list. Absolutely.
But in I believe it's some like it's an Indian movie. I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what the language is. Anyway, there's that one that interests me. I saw that An Inconvenient Truth did well last week for people, money wise.
It did okay. We actually, I mean, we were really high on it. I did a Just the Shot List podcast last week where I just kind of created a shot list in real time instead of doing an hour-long episode. And I was really big on it. I thought it was going to do at least like 1.8 to 2.2 million. It did 961,000. So that kind of brought us down to earth.
As a platform, it helped. Because I know I was number 2 going into the weekend, and then those people with Inconvenient Truth jumped up ahead of me. So
yeah, and still, a little concern on why that isn't registering over the weekend. But you know what? At the end of the weekend, I'm still hand scoring. Kind of sucks, but what can you do? Okay.
And then there's a movie that's priced very high, which I have not really heard much buzz on. What's the highest priced movie?
Oh, Annabelle Creation.
Annabelle Creation. I haven't heard anything about it, but I've been off the grid a little bit. So
okay, well that's a great segue into the shot list. I'll offer G Nice an opportunity to chime in, but I'm sure he knows nothing about the games. He hasn't played in the last few weeks or 2 weeks.
Jennifer Beals is hot.
Okay, all right. So going on to the shot list, these are views you can use to pick the winning Cinema Draft call sheet. The first part of my shot list.
Tell you how I pick them.
How do you pick them? Because you've yet to win any. Have you won any money on this game yet? I think you've won like $5, right?
All right, thank you very much. Don't take my money. I earned that money.
You can cash out anytime. Anything over $5.
My money.
Just ask KG. He's actually cashed out. He knows what it feels.
Okay, so can I ask you a question? This will be good. This will be good for the viewers out there. Okay, so explain to me how this works. Okay. You're gonna give advice, right? So what I do, and you can tell me what I do wrong. How's that?
Okay. Oh, okay.
You like that? Okay. Yeah. So what I do is, look, there's some just sort of stubbornness on my end, right? I will acknowledge that there are certain actors I like, so I'm gonna pick them. It's like in the tournament when you pick Georgetown, you know they're not gonna win, right? But you still have to stick with Georgetown because those are the people you came to the dance with, right? Okay. So I have to pick an actor I like, but then I know I have to get. So the idea is you're gonna try to balance it all, right? You want to take whatever the money you have and get down to zero. So you want to make sure you're getting as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's correct, right?
Sort of. I mean, it's a value game. You have to figure out which movies are going to perform best in their release type. Because some weeks, a platform release is going to do a lot better than a wide release, and vice versa.
Right. That part I get. But okay. So you want to take?
You really?
Don't hate. I just told you I'm going to pick Georgetown no matter what. So I got to be true to who I am. You want to get the money that you offer. You want to get down to zero when it's all said and done. Correct?
I think an acceptable call sheet is anything within, say, $5,000 remaining in your budget. Yes.
Ooh. Why would you still have $5,000? Okay. Anyway, so you want to try to get less, right? You want to get as close to zero as possible.
Sure.
Why are you saying no? That's not the goal.
No. I mean, it's part of the goal, but it's all about what you think is going to perform. Like last week,
I get that part. I do, but shouldn't you also try to get to zero?
Well, if you have a movie that all the people are worth $5,000, you might get 8 of them, and
fair enough. That's a better answer instead of sure. Okay, so then you get, I pick. You look at the ones that are going to make the most money, right? You want to pick it, and then you want to pick the people you're supposed to take the star people, right? You're supposed to take the big money makers, the star of that movie.
The headliners, right? Yes, because you get 40% bonus.
So what's to stop me from loading the whole thing up with headliners?
People do that. We call it an all-star call sheet. I see it. I mean, sometimes win? I don't think I've seen one yet that's won, a contest outright, but some of them cash. Some of them have like all-star call. A player who does an all-star call sheet a lot is a player named Matt. He, has been playing off and on since the beginning, and and sometimes they work out for him, sometimes they don't. I mean, it's always about.
You're taking the all-stars across the board. You're going to run out of money before you get to 10.
Not necessarily. It depends on the movie. The movies, you can get a headliner from like a platform movie for like $5,500 sometimes. It just depends on what the movie is.
So what I do is I take the guys I like, and I take the stars, and then I try to mix in the other ones in the middle to make the money work.
Okay.
I
I
choose
have
jokes
I have
on
a
my
podcast
16.
for you. You might want to watch. It's 18 minutes called the General Strategy Guide. You might want to
Dude,
watch that because there's some good stuff in
dude,
there.
I keep it real.
Broke. Okay. So on to the shot list where we will give you some
So
actionable
what? So
advice.
what am I doing wrong then?
No,
This
no,
is
no.
so
So what,
simple.
what I'm saying, so here's a tidbit from the strategy guide would be if there's a movie that you know is going to do well, like far and beyond most other movies. Like this week, it quite possibly could be Annabelle Creation. I have no desire to see it. I personally don't know anyone who's talking about it, but it's tracking at like 30 million plus, and everything else are in its like second or third weekend and probably won't even get close to like 20. So you want to get as many of say Annabelles as you can to an extent
So
and then figure out the rest.
do you take multiple people from one movie?
Always.
Yeah. I do that too.
You
Yeah,
didn't know you could do that?
of course I did.
Okay.
Of course you did.
Yeah, no, but no, seriously. So, for example, Annabelle. Here, I'll go to the share screen real quick. And the thing about Annabelle Creation is, so for example, 18,200. You could probably squeeze 3, maybe 4 if you're adventurous, depending on how you want to figure out the rest of your call sheet. Right there, you're probably looking at about 60,000 almost, maybe 55,000 all told. And then you have I guess there are 45,000 over 6 slots to figure out what to do, based on your strategy. And you want to get most of these because if it's going to do 30 million, you're going to get about 30 points, maybe 44 with the headliners. Then you have to figure out, what else is going to get you the most value for the remaining dollars you have of what's left. And yeah, you're usually so when you have multiple actors from a film, is what we call stacking, and it's a concept that we definitely take from like daily fantasy sports. It's very popular because it works. Like for example, if you're playing DFS MLB and you pick the Rockies at home, thin air and altitude, you pick like 3 through 6 hitters, and you get they get like 2 men on base and someone hits a home run, you get points for all those guys. Same concept. If you have a movie that does really well, like Annabelle Creation, and you have like 4 actors from them, you get points for all those guys. It's just the right thing to do. So try some stacking this week. See how it works out for you. Tell me what you think.
Okay, I mean, touchdown, but okay, yes, I hear you.
Okay, the shot list. And the first part of the shot list is the A list, and these are actors you will definitely want on your call sheet. And yes, we're starting here at the top. Annabelle Creation, Miranda Otto. She's 18,200. And I
So
say
what's
her
to stop me from copying what you're about to say?
Nothing.
nothing.
I know, but
It's fine. First of all, I mean, I'm sure people do copy what I say to their detriment, because last week, like I said, on just the shot list, I did an entire call sheet, live on air, and I was going to roll with it until I got new information, so I had to switch it up. But generally, you're always getting more information in this game on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and so you're always tweaking. But there's nothing to stop anyone from copying. A lot of times we have duplicate call sheets because people are of like mind. They figure out what might be an optimal strategy and they roll with it. That's okay. I mean, you're just trying to make the best call sheet with the money you have available, and a lot of times you hit upon similar type of strategies that earn you money. I want you to earn some money, G Nice. I want to talk about you.
I have $5. I have $5. Stop that. I got $5.
Okay. Well, it's right there for you to cash out anytime you want, as long as you have a $5 balance. All right, so Annabelle Creation, I say Miranda Otto, even though she's the more expensive of the 2 headliners, you're going to want a headliner stack this at the very least. It's our good friends over at HSX, that is the Hollywood Stock Exchange. They are predicting for Annabelle about a 30. Is this right? Let me refresh this. Yeah, 35 million almost opening weekend. So that's going to be far and away the highest grossing movie this weekend. So you definitely want to stack up on that. Also, Anushka Sharma, Jab Harry Met Sejal. Oh my God, I almost butchered that. Yes, Jab Harry Met Sejal. Sounds like the Indian version of When Harry Met Sally. It might be. I don't know. It's a 3F. We love 3Fs. Those are our foreign focused films. The Indian movie. This one did gangbusters last weekend. Look at its butt. Oh my God, $4,588 per screen on 280 screens. That was good for 1.3 million almost. That's damn near 13 points per actor, probably about 21, 22 points for each headliner. It's probably not going to do this again this week, but even if it cuts it in half, you're still looking at maybe 800,000, 600,000, 700,000. So you might want to jump on that. Either one of these two, both priced at $5,300. They're both headliners. You might even want to do like a 5 or 6 pack of Job Harry Met Sejal if you've got room. What else? Co-starring. These are some values you may want to look out for this weekend. Wind River, damn it. Did you notice? Did y'all notice that the top grossing per screen average by a bunch last weekend was Wind River? That is a Weinstein Company film starring Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen. It's getting some Oscar buzz. And yeah, people want to see this movie. So you can't assume that when it expands to 40 screens, it's going to keep up that torrid pace of 40,000 per screen. I'm guesstimating it's going to do maybe 15,000 per screen. At 15,000 per screen times 40 screens, that's 600,000. That's 6 points, pretty cheap. You know, even if you're not doing a punt, even if this is a part of your essential strategy, you're going to want to have at least 1 or 2 headliners from where to go. Here we go. Wind River, Jeremy Renner or Elizabeth Olsen. They're still somewhat affordably priced. $5,900 for Jeremy Renner, $5,800 for Elizabeth Olsen in platform release. Remember, in platform release, you get 1 point per 100,000 in box office per actor. What else? Woody Harrelson in The Glass Castle. So this is a new release. It's on 1,400 screens. I've seen the ads and the marketing. It looks super indie. So I'm actually kind of glad they didn't go beyond 1,400 screens-ish. We'll find the final count tomorrow. But the fact that it's a limited release, by far, it's probably going to be the best limited release this week because right now, like most weeks, it is a dumpster fire in limited release. You've got those tweeners. They don't know if they want to be point guards or small forwards. They're just out there. Usually these are movies in the 5th or 6th weekend of their run. They've made most of their money. They're just kind of playing out the string. But as so much as a new release in 1,400 screens, it's got potential. It could probably do 3 or 4 million. And in that case, at 1 point per 500,000 per actor in box office in limited release, if you can get 4 million or 5 million out of Glass Castle, that's 8 or 10 points. Rock with it. So get you a headliner. Get you Woody Harrelson, the cheaper of the 2 headliners, $7,500 in limited release in The Glass Castle. The Cutting Room Floor. Skip these losers. And sad to say, but Atomic Blonde, you're an interesting movie, but you're a little too weird. And it's not even so much weird. You got a little too convoluted at the end. It's not the most word of mouth type movie. The fight scenes are excellent, but this movie is going to be too wide for its own good. 2,800 screens. Nobody's really going to see it. Last weekend, Atomic Blonde did, what did it do? It did, yeah, 8 million. Yeah, it did all right. I mean, 8 million's okay, and even though it's going to be priced realistically, starting at 7,800, going up to 10,000 for Charlize Theron, I mean, it's still overvalued. You're not going to get the bang for your buck you want out of that. If it drops another 50%, it's only going to make 4 million. It's still going to be in wide release. 4 million is only 4 points in wide release, so you're going to skip Atomic Blonde as much as I enjoyed her fight choreography in that movie. And War for the Planet of the Apes, ditto. It's too wide for its own good, damn it. And it's in what? It's 5th weekend, 6th weekend? 4th weekend. Feels like it's been 6 weekends. It's in its 4th weekend, 4th weekend release. Actually, probably like its 5th weekend or something like that. And yeah, and I wouldn't say we're over it, but we're over it. It did. What did it do last week? So it made 6 million last weekend. If it drops 50%, it'll only make about 3 million. That's only 3 points. It's going to be too wide for its own good. If it actually drops under 2,000 screens and into limited release, you might want to take a gander at it. It might not be too bad. It still did 2,200 per screen. If it does, say, I don't know, 1,700 per screen and is on like 1,900 screens, that might actually be worth your time. That actually is about 3 million, so that's about 6 points right there. You could do worse, but otherwise, I would probably skip it, zip it. All right, guys, any movies that are coming out this weekend that you want to see? I think I know the answer to this.
Nope.
Really?
No, I mean, I'm sure there's movies you guys have to catch up on, but yeah,
I have to catch up on so much.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I mean, it's August. August. I mean, the first week in August is usually the last weekend of blockbuster summer season. Now we're in a very fallow period of the industry, a bit of a dumping ground. Movies at the middle to the end of August are traditionally terrible. The worst movies ever are deposited excreted on Labor Day weekend, and it just gets bad from there until like mid to late September, early October. We actually have a hope of reprieve in late September with American Made, with Tom Cruise and Doug Liman directed film, which looks awesome. But until then, it's going to be bad.
Did anyone see The Dark Tower?
I saw it. It was all right.
So those books are based. Those comics, they're books that make comics were made off the books, and then the movies are made off the comics. No, they're made off the books, I guess. The comics are really cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just all right. So yeah, so we're entering a pretty sad. We're into the dog days of August for the movie industry. You're going to see some really low scores. We only like our winning score this week. Our call sheet of the week only scored 155 points, almost 156 points. So we're going to start seeing some really low scores because people are enjoying the rest of the summer. They've seen the blockbusters. They're going to see. They're out. They're enjoying life. There's no really good movies coming up. Like next weekend's big movies, like The Hitman's Bodyguard. Give me a break. I mean, it looks terrible. So yeah,
that looks actually excellent.
Excellent. It looks like it might be fun, but it doesn't look like
that looks like the perfect horrible movie. Honestly, that looks so ridiculous and so much fun. It's going to be horrible, but it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty bad. All right, so this week's over under. Oh, I'm sorry. This week's over under. Anything else on movies this weekend or in August, end of summer movies? Any comments on that?
All right. Spider-Man. I haven't seen Spider-Man.
Oh God, Greg. Yeah, you would.
I have 3 children.
I understand. Jay Devlin just saw it like the other day, and he texted me from the movie. He's like, "This is amazing. This is probably top 3 Marvel movie of all time." Like, wow. I was like, I told y'all, it's great.
I heard, and I would like to see Baby Driver.
Yes,
I would like to see The Alien.
The Alien? Which one was that one?
Alien. The movie that I thought was going to be awesome.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that came out earlier. That was interesting. I'll be interested to see what your take is on that.
Everyone I know said it was like whatever, but that makes me sad. I'm still going to watch it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it fine. All right, so this week's over-under, Annabelle Creation, 25 million this weekend. Now, as you saw the tracking, they're leaning towards 35. I feel like it's high because, like you said, KG, no one's really talking about it. What do you think? Over, under, 25 million. KG.
I'll say over. I always say under. I'll say over this time.
Optimist. All right, Misanthrope, over, under, 25 million.
What did Kevin say?
I said over. So
under, motherfucker. Whatever he says, the opposite.
Children. Okay. All right. I'm going to pick over also because it may not crack 35, but I think it's still got enough to make at least 30. Results from our last poll was for Atomic Blonde 2 weeks ago. Sorry about that. And 65% picked the under for 30 million. And I did myself because by the time we conducted this poll, I had already seen a sneak preview that Tuesday, and I knew it was going to underperform. I was right. And it didn't even come close. It ended up clocking in at 18 million. So 65% were wise and got it right.
That's based on a comic, too. It's an okay comic.
Yeah, I heard that. And I mean, I don't know. I do kind of hope that they take another swing at it because it's got potential. She truly is like, they're calling it like Jane Bond or whatever. But yeah, I enjoy it.
Like another swing as in a sequel?
Yeah, or something. Yeah, it's
or like do it 15 years from now with a new person.
Oh, God, stop. All right, so yes, we're going to bring this in for a landing. Where can you find CinemaDraft? You can go to cinemadraft.co, that's cinemadraft.co. Tell all your friends to sign up, play the game, enjoy the game. We're on all the social media. Medium.com/@CinemaDraft is our corporate blog. Subscribe at iTunes, Google Music, SoundCloud, or wherever is your favorite podcasting outlet. Once again, we are live this week. Game starts at 10 p.m. Pacific time on Thursday, and we have Theater Lock, which is when we lock in the screen count and the release types for the movies that we're playing for the weekend. We have Theater Lock at 6 p.m. Pacific time on Thursday, so make sure you double check your call sheets if you've already submitted to make sure that you have a valid call sheet. Results are usually sometime Monday evening, usually after 6 or 7 p.m. Pacific time because I have to hand score. It's a bitch, but that's where we are with the game. Fellas, plug your ish. KG.
Dynasty coming October 11th to the CW. Milk and Honey on Issa Rae's YouTube channel. 3 episodes are up.
Boom.
Yeah. Oh, and also somebody's writing their episode this week, huh?
Oh, network outline in tonight, hopefully.
Yes.
Wait, you're doing it right now?
No, it's going in. It's up the pipeline, so it should be going in tonight.
Good
So
shit.
when you say network outline, what happens with that? So they just basically approve like your basic like outline story points, and then you go off to write.
Yeah, they give their note with this. We did the studio notes today. They gave their input.
Did you create like 6 black characters in this episode? Like
This is-
superhero
this is
cowboy.
There are like no black characters in this movie, right? Or in this show, right?
No, the Colbys are all black. The
Oh,
the
okay.
Carrington
So did the
versus
Colbys
Colbys.
talk for like 90% of this episode?
You'll have to tune in to find out.
Yeah. So what episode number is going to be yours? Not saying that
This
we
is-
should skip all the
this
others and
is-
just watch yours, but
This is 6. 1 through 5 are amazing. 6 is even better.
Yeah, 1 through 5 are good, and then 6 just kills it.
6. It's gonna be a fun. You know how you have the popcorn movies. This is gonna be like a popcorn TV show. Juicy soap action. Some crazy stuff happening.
hey, let's have a call out to the show. Put in somewhere some.
Oh, yeah!
No, let's put in somewhere someone's line cultural cul-de-sac. That would be so cool.
Oh, do it.
I'll see what I can do.
You haven't written it yet? Oh yeah, we gotta come up with one line you have to put in.
Cultural cul-de-sac, absolutely, yeah.
Well, that's very specific, but yeah, that's like you have to have somebody say, "Where the black people at?" Boom, put that in there.
That won't make it, but you
That
know,
won't make it. Come on,
I'll
C-Dub.
see what I can do.
You think cultural cul-de-sac?
Cultural cul-de-sac, do it. That's the name of my
knows?
fantasy football team. Actually, we were doing a cinema draft fantasy football team. Shout outs to Gamble24x7, and my team name truly is Cultural Cul-de-sac.
You're welcome. Dude, can you put that in the script? That would be the funniest thing in the whole wide world.
Definitely, we will dine out on that forever. Like me and like my half-second. Okay, all right. So, yeah, G Nice. Anything you want to plug?
Yo, I will say, Darcy, stay out of my fucking business.
Stay in your lane.
I can't. Yeah.
Shots fired.
That's fired.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank my guests once again. G Nice.
Yup.
KG, the Chocolate Cardinal.
Boom. There it is.
Yes, the working black writer working on the Dynasty reboot. Thanks everybody for listening, for tuning in, and you all know what to do between now and the next time we have a podcast. Why don't you go see a movie or something?